The following podcast contains spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised. Hello. Hello and welcome to Animated Anarchy, the show where we take a critical look at animated features of all kinds and think, what the hell did we just watch? No, we determine the good from the bad. But today, hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Mike, how dare you? I mean, this is
I have nothing to be thankful for after
tonight. This is a time to show thanks or to be thankful for all the things that have been.
I'm not thankful for you giving me an aneurysm.
So yeah, let's just get right into it because we're so tired today, and it's been kind of a tiring week. And
this
I know
did
we haven't.
Not help.
No, this didn't help. This didn't help at all. It was honestly my decision, and it was my decision to watch this movie because first off, we need a Thanksgiving themed movie of some sort, and it was either this or Charlie Brown Thanksgiving
or Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Or no. Well, you suggested that after the fact, but it was like you said like it's a good movie to kind of. Go on the theme of Thanksgiving, but it's not exactly a Thanksgiving.
There's really no other Thanksgiving movies.
No, there really isn't.
Animated films.
Which I guess this movie kind of cornered the market on that. So
and no one will ever want to make a Thanksgiving movie
yes.
ever again.
Okay, so let's see. We're gonna put some ingredients in this now. Let's see
where you go with it.
Let's sprinkle in a dash of Owen Wilson.
4 dashes of Owen Wilson.
4 days. Some Woody Harrelson segments. And just put in there, and Amy Poehler and
very smattering
Mixwell, and you get Freebirds, a Freebirds Thanksgiving movie about turkeys that go back in time to save all the turkeys
and stop the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's
to keep turkeys off the menu.
Yeah, that was.
Oh my,
yes, and. If that doesn't give you a clue of who's in this movie, then I get out of here. So, Mike, I'm looking at you right now, and you're giving me the most sour look in the entire world.
The biggest shit-eating grin.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about this. We wanted to see this over the weekend. We had a nice little pre-Thanksgiving feast that our friend made.
Yeah.
Just like a Friendsgiving. That's what we called it, I suppose.
I don't call it that.
Someone called it that. A bunch of people did.
It wasn't me.
Okay. Well, it must have been my head or something.
This movie is set. Literally, a part of my brain is shut off.
Yeah. Well, it's not exactly Thanksgiving yet, but we basically had like a small dinner that was a traditional Thanksgiving.
A Thanksgiving that doesn't involve the awkwardness of sitting around a table with a family.
Yeah.
Instead, you hang out with really cool people.
Yeah.
And you eat food and
no political talk, no religious talk, I suppose, and no nothing that would offend anyone across from you, unless it's like. I don't know. You said something offhanded or something.
Yeah.
But no, it was a very nice thing, and it was like Thanksgiving. And it's like, I thought to myself, like, hey, Mike, you know what we're going to have to watch later on this weekend?
And I said, what?
We're going to have to watch Freebirds. And you immediately, fell into the gravy. You were you just hit the sauce. And
hit the gravy.
Yeah, hit the gravy. And I think you were a little bit trying to avoid this movie because it took you a while for me to get you to watch this with me.
I have not seen this movie before.
No, neither have I. We have both not seen this movie, and for good reasons. I mean, I don't really think I heard any good things about this movie, but I didn't really necessarily hear anything bad about it. I just thought I heard from some folks that they thought it was a fairly inoffensive, cartoony movie that wasn't really all that great.
The worst thing for a movie is for a movie to be just mediocre.
Yeah.
Because if it's good, it's memorable. If it's bad, it's memorable. If it's just a mediocre movie,
then there's nothing to really
you don't remember
home
it.
about.
So it's kind of like you're stuck.
So
and this movie, unlike Unlike what a
I do
mediocre
remember-
movie would do,
Yeah.
this is going to leave an imprint on me.
Yeah. It kind of
And
did, actually.
I'm not fucking happy that we saw this movie, Andrew. I mean, no offense to the people who worked on it, no offense to the artists, no offense to anybody.
Yeah.
But I
want my hour and a half
I'd
back.
rather watch all the bad movies that we've watched already again in one sitting.
Wow,
than watch this movie.
even Pinocchio in outer space?
I mean, especially Pinocchio.
Really? Wow.
That's
Oh
I know,
my God.
that's heavy duty. But
All right, that's heavy.
This,
yeah, that's
this
heavy
movie,
stuff.
there's something about certain movies, especially ones that, I mean, where you feel like you can just throw a million jokes a minute at you,
Yeah.
or visual gags, or a million things, and you're just sort of like, let's just carpet bomb our audience with laughter or supposed jokes,
Yeah.
and they all just are like dub squib, just they don't work.
Yeah.
So, I think.
That's funny.
I think what we should do is now, I think, instead of me just going sighing and being upset, let's just start discussing this movie.
Let's go into the story of this.
Again.
Okay, so we start off with a quote from George Takei. Takai? Is it Takei?
Takei.
Is it Takei? Because I know he's so offended if
Well, I like
don't say
Rob
the wrong way.
Paulson. Rob Paulson had a story about the pronunciation of decay.
Yeah.
And because he thought it was Takai.
Yeah.
And George Takei was like, actually, it's decay.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, like DK, like your career. So that's how I remember it's Takei.
Right. So yes, it's George Takei.
Takei. Okay? Decay.
Okay, Takei. And he basically says like,
The following movie
is
completely fictitious.
Yes.
Except for the talking turkeys. They're totally real.
Yes,
and that sets the bar so low. Like, is this what I'm getting into? Just like with the B movie, where there's a narration at the beginning where it's like,
yeah, you're right.
Bees cannot lift the whatever. And then
because their fat little bodies cannot
lift their little puny thing.
The bees don't really care, so blah blah blah. And we start off with that, and we're at like we start out of This Is Me, the Turkey by Owen Wilson.
So Lightning McQueen plays a turkey.
Yeah, it's funny because like that's all I could hear when I was looking at this. I was waiting for like a car to like come out and like mow over all these turkeys and like ka-chow, and just
and he screams like kind of like Kermit the Frog in the distance.
He screams. He does. He screams a lot in this movie.
Yeah,
and it sounds like he's like it's like that a house. It's like you're in the house sort of scream where it's
so you
like
don't want to scream really loud.
Yeah, it's like
that's like a scream like as you fall into a couch.
Yeah.
like he
into
wasn't
a
trying.
pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of Owen Wilson screaming, and he basically says, yeah, okay, I'm a turkey. I'm the only smart turkey among a group of, like, dumb-ass turkeys who don't know that they're being murdered for Thanksgiving. So, all the other turkeys, they don't know that they're food. I'm the only one that does know, and I'm trying to warn everyone. And I am not allowed to be in the giant glowing red
turkey
pile that apparently turkeys do.
You're cold, Reggie. Get out of here. You suck, Reggie.
Yes.
It's weird because like the movie is just established. I mean, at the beginning, I'm first like, there's some really funny moments with these dumb turkeys, and I'm like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah, there's some pretty funny.
And then from there, the snowball just starts to go, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of awkward timing in this movie, especially with jokes. I mean, because it's like once one joke happens, immediately another joke gets thrown right at you. It doesn't really matter what it is or how funny it is. It's like we need to like crap out all these jokes like really fast, just like do. You know, like when they were boarding this, they were thinking like, I got a bunch of great ideas for jokes, so let's just like throw them all in there and like. Who cares what's good and what's bad? Let's just put them in one after the other.
Yeah.
So
and almost like at first you're like, because instead of you just laughing at every joke, you're just like you're confused, but you can't catch up. So you're like, what? Wait, what? What? And you just like it just like layers on, and you're like, oh my god, what did I just see?
We had to rewind a couple times
about
because
3 or 4 times we had to stop and rewind to be like, what the hell just happened?
Because first off, there were a couple jokes that we didn't really understand, and we had to rewind it, and it's like, oh, they're saying that, and that doesn't make the joke any more funny. And then there were the moments where it's like, what the hell did we just see? Wait, turn it back. And then we see the sequence of events that led to that joke. And there's absolutely no connection whatsoever. Like the beats.
We'll have to get to that point.
Yeah. Oh God, that's the only memorable thing for me right now.
I think the thing about that one, we're going to talk about it later.
Okay.
But I wish it was exactly 15 seconds long, because I want to post it on Instagram as like Free Birds in a nutshell. And here you go.
Right.
This 15 seconds of footage.
Yeah.
So in the movie, Owen Wilson plays Reggie,
Reggie the turkey, who
is too smart for his own good.
And then all of a sudden he's taken away from his flock. And he by a child, like who's the president's daughter,
and he's going to be the pardoned presidential turkey of the year,
which is an American tradition. The president. I mean, that's pretty funny. Like, let's do a joke
about
about
funny about being pardoned by the president. I
don't know. I find that always amusing. Like, why does this have to happen?
I always wonder what happens to those turkeys, like, after the holidays. Like, are they put like on a turkey sanctuary where all the other presidential turkeys go?
Yeah.
Or does it just get killed anyway? Just delayed the inevitable.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like Wilbur the pig and Charlotte's Web.
They just get slaughtered
That's
anyway.
some pig. He's terrific. Well, he's not interesting anymore. Let's kill him.
Come on. Wake up. What's going on here?
Hey, you're fine.
Hey, you're fine.
Hey, you're okay.
So yes, he becomes the pardoned turkey because the president's daughter wanted this turkey.
Likes this turkey.
Well,
also because, I mean, compared to all the other turkey designs, Owen Wilson turkey really stands out because he's like bluish, while all the other turkeys are kind of like the standard red and brown turkeys.
And apparently I guess they didn't really want to do the Barack Obama president, because he is like a mix between
Bill Clinton,
George
Ronald Reagan,
Bush.
George Bush.
It's like he was like a mishmash of all the white presidents.
And he combined into...
I mean, this movie came out in 2013. I mean, Obama was president while this movie was being made, right?
Right.
So
we better play safe than sorry.
I guess so.
I don't know. Maybe they're like, ooh, are people going to get mad that we have a black president in our movie? Or is it going to date our movie? Yeah. Or like, all right, we'll just make him standard white guys.
Yeah, okay. Let's make him the generic, like, Texan.
Not even Texan. He's just like middle America, kind of bland, uninteresting, but he kind of has.
Well, it's kind of funny because he had that accent, like that Bill Clinton sort of accent.
It's like, now, honey, I'm gonna pardon this turkey.
That turkey is not right. It's not good for this kind of.
Yeah.
And okay, so now we have Reggie, who is going to Fort. Where is he going?
Camp David.
Camp David. That's right.
The presidential retreat.
Presidential retreat, where he basically lives a life of luxury.
Yeah. Oh, but there's a weird moment. So the little girl's like, "Yay, yay!" and brings him on the helicopter.
You're right. Yes.
And there's a moment where she's like, "Oh," and she's saying like a million things a minute.
Yeah,
and
she's like pointing at everyone that works for them. Like,
this is blank. He's blank. And there's one point where she points at a guy and goes, "This is blank. He's getting a divorce." And then you just see this wonderful. I want to know who animated that shot, because that's probably that's probably my favorite shot in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Just this restrained expression
just dejected. He's like,
and even later on, a few shots later on the helicopter, he's really sad.
He's just sitting there across from a lady, and he's like, with this.
I am getting a divorce, aren't I?
Oh my God, this is the worst Thanksgiving I've ever had. Oh, poor... I wish I knew what his name was. I forgot, but yeah, poor whatever that guy was.
I feel so bad.
I feel bad for
random
him.
Extra bystander, uninteresting character.
They made it a point to like have a shot on this guy like looking terribly dejected.
I see that man's entire marriage in that one shot. Just awful. It had a really bad turnout. And, I mean, who wants a divorce?
And of course, the president's daughter just like points it out to everyone, and it's just like,
oh man. So she has this weird, because at first I'm like, oh, she's kind of cute.
She's hyperactive,
but then she's hyperactive, and then she always is like narcoleptically like, oh, I'm tired now, and just falls asleep.
Yeah, that's the joke that happens throughout the movie. Yeah. That's basically how they get her out of the movie.
Yeah,
in a sense where it's like, because this movie's premise comes at you in like 15 minutes. It feels like an hour.
And we look at it like, oh my God, it's been 15 minutes?
Yeah, because like one thing after the next just comes right at you. It's like all of this stuff that's happening is just like the opening to what we're supposed to be watching for the next hour and a half. So we basically set up, okay, he's a pardoned turkey, and now all of a sudden, like, he lives a life of luxury. He
gets a lot of Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese pizza, yeah, that's another thing.
Does Chuck E. Cheese deliver?
No, they don't.
Then why is he getting delivered Chuck E. Cheese pizza?
Listen, your guess is as good as mine.
I think what happened was because Real Effects animated the new Chuck E. Cheese commercials with the little CG Chuck E. Cheese mouse.
Yeah.
They had, I guess, a sponsorship.
I guess they did, because I do remember that there were some commercials where they were advertising for Freebirds, and I think there was some Freebird stuff at Chuck E. Cheese or something. I haven't been to a Chuck E. Cheese in ages, so I don't know.
I don't know, yeah.
You can't go in there without a child, and that's,
Probably, probably for the best.
There should be a movie about a bunch of adults that are trying to get into Chuck E. Cheese.
Like a Howlin' and Kumar type movie? Yeah. Dude, they got like the giant electric hungry hippos. We gotta go in there. But we can't.
We need a child. Let's kidnap a child.
I was about to say, then they all dress up in the trench coat idea.
Oh no!
And it's like, let me get this. So wait, hold on. I know what you're doing. You're a bunch of kids dressed up in trench coats to look like adults. Well, this is Chuck E. Cheese, so it's fine. You could go in, and they have to dress up in the trench coats for the whole, and they just have a really good time.
Oh my God!
I just ruined that movie for everybody. That's movies, yeah. But anyway, he's watching soap operas and wearing the presidential robe.
Which are like, I guess, flash animated, like painted, sort of.
It's
like,
kind of like After Effects-y, flashy.
Yeah. They looked funny. I mean, like I honestly thought that the when he was like just flipping through the channels really fast, all of those really weird like paintings grotesque that came faces, by, and they were all moving as well. I thought those were pretty funny.
Yeah, but I was just sort of like, like they're kind of a little more grotesque.
Like everything is screaming at you on TV.
Yeah, and then so he's enjoying his time, and then suddenly he gets kidnapped by this really dumb, large, muscular
Kronk
turkey
yeah.
named Jake, who's voiced by Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. And they make it a point to show how dumb he is by saying, it's like, wait, who are you? I'm the guy that you just kidnapped. Oh, yeah. And then, like, promptly, like, smashes him around a bunch of times, like, just
smacks him in the face.
Just unintentional hurt gags that don't really seem all that, like, you know how hurt gags, like, in cartoons, how they're supposed to be funny? I mean, some of them were funny. Like, I actually, like, laughed at them. But then there were some moments where it's like, ow, that really hurts.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if it was because of how it was presented or how because there was that one moment where it's like, I guess like a bolt got into his eye.
It was really grotesquely done.
It looked really, really painful. Bad. Like, and they didn't even play it off for laughs. It looked like he was in real pain. Like, he took this bolt out of his eye,
pulled it out.
Yeah, and just like you hear like a
whatever. That was what was left of John K's involvement on this movie. Because John K early on.
Oh my God, we didn't mention that. Yeah. Apparently he was involved with this.
At the very beginning of the production.
Like he did designs or something.
Designs or did some, I don't know. I doubt it's story work, but he did some design work.
Yeah.
He's posted on his blog, I guess, but I haven't seen. I saw them years ago.
Yeah, because I remember he did like a turkey short pitch one time. This was like years back when Frederator was doing shorts, and I just all I remember was a turkey, and it was like 3 drawings that he probably made like probably like a couple minutes before the pitch, and I mean, they looked like great drawings, and I'm kind of curious to what they looked like on this thing. But do you remember those? Who did the Jim Carrey Mr. Limpet drawings?
Oh, was it Bob Camp?
I think it was Bob Camp. But yeah, those if you look those up, those are amazing.
Mr. Limpet, when they were going to do the remake.
Yeah,
of
they were going to do a remake of Mr.
Limpet. With a motion captured face onto a CG fish.
Yes, and the drawings are glorious.
They're glorious as they're appealingly grotesque. Kind of like
do yourself a favor, look them up, and then come back.
Like a Basil Wolverton drawing.
But anyway, so apparently this Jake guy got a message from
The Great Turkey.
the Great Turkey, who was like this mystical. We're supposed to think that it's in his head or something.
That's like
but
God.
right there, because I knew there was like a time traveling element to this. I kind of already knew that it was okay. Which one of these turkeys was it that came back from the past or future or wherever and told this guy what to do? I was just waiting for that moment, and it turned out it was Reggie. Oh, I'm sorry, spoilers. It was Reggie.
But it's weird. Like, I know if I think too hard about the implications of the Great Turkey.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, I don't know how time travel. I mean, like, if I get too into it, like, I'm getting ahead of myself. But like,
Oh yeah, time travel is like
so the Great Turkey goes back knowing that Jake is going to grow up and do this thing, but there had to have been a point where, I don't know.
Yeah, because they say that Jake was a small turkey.
He was
like,
a
baby,
chick.
like a baby turkey when he was visited by this
Great Turkey.
Great Turkey. Yeah.
But then, like, so how? Yeah, it makes no
Yeah,
sense.
it's like time travel kind of goes out the window in this entire movie.
Right.
But I mean, like, it's only really needed for the element of them going back in time to stop the first Thanksgiving from happening.
Yeah.
And everything after that is just like, we don't know how to write for time travel. We're just gonna like do whatever,
Make up what we want.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like,
It's like we'll just make up whatever we want about vampires.
Yeah.
So.
it's weird because like I just realized something now. Like they, Jake kidnaps Reggie from Camp David, and they just go walking, maybe a couple hundred yards in the woods, and they end up at an army base.
Yeah, there's an
which
army base
inside the
there.
army base is this supposed time traveling machine.
Yeah.
Which is like, why would you put an army base where they're testing unstable creations near Camp fucking David, which is like a recreational, like where kids go and they go and play in the woods and stuff.
Yeah. It's
like, that's not really, well,
they're
whatever.
right next door to each other, so it's easier for the president
Yeah,
to
the
just
president's
go
like,
over
oh, can you take a break from cooking marshmallows and we'll show you some deadly poison, radioactive weaponry.
And so they're infiltrating this base and they're looking for the time machine, and there's like
more product placement.
Yeah, more product placement. There's a funny map joke where it's
you are here, and there's like, oh, there is another Chuck E. Cheese.
It's not like they're gonna say where the time machine is on this map. Oh wait, there it is.
Yeah.
And so then they had like Old Navy and other things like on
Auntie-Anne's pretzels and the coffee bean and tea.
All of the sponsors that were
obviously gave money to this movie. And so they go in, and then you meet these hazmats who are giggling a lot, and there's a whole scene where they're laughing.
Yeah, that seemed to be the big thing.
They played it up
on
in the trailer.
Yeah. And they seem to play it up quite a bit on this one moment, because I almost feel like they said, like, oh, this is a really funny gag. Let's just keep making it go on for a little longer. Because they even do, like, this weird split screen thing in between the whole laugh, and I'm like, okay, that was weird. It's like, why do you need to emphasize it with a split screen?
Years ago, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, are these guys going to be all throughout the movie?
No,
they're only in it for like maybe, as far as a talking line,
for 3 minutes.
Maybe. Well, as far as talking lines, like actual speaking lines, like no more than a minute altogether.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then the turkeys finally find this big, what looks like a giant floating egg. It's this time machine, and
of course it needs to look like a giant egg.
And the turkeys infiltrate and go inside, and they get sent back in time. But there's this weird selection of events where like a hazmat guy has to save the original test pilot, and it's like
that was pretty obvious.
Oh, I'm next. Sorry, 2 weeks from retirement. Good luck. And then the door shuts on the guy's foot. Like, it happens all in like 10 seconds, and I'm like, what the hell just happened?
It's so funny. It's like all of the jokes leading up to that foot being caught into the door. It's like
were stupid, but then the foot being caught in the door.
The foot being caught in the door was funny, but everything before that was just like flat. It just didn't really matter to me.
Yeah, dub squib.
I was like, okay, that was a good topping.
And then the guy gets like
the shit sandwich.
Yeah, the guy gets launched around in a circle around the and then all this, and everyone's floaling.
And there's a really crazy like general. I thought they were gonna play him up a little bit more. But
he looks like George C. Scott mixed with like a George Liquor. Yeah, and he's got like a twitchy eye. Kind of looks just like an angry, standard angry generic general.
Yeah. What was that?
That's the cat.
Oh, yeah. Well, so Yeah, so they go back in time. I mean, there's like a...
And they say, can you bring us back to the first Thanksgiving? And it's like, and they drop him off 3 days before the original Thanksgiving.
And let's not forget that George Takei is also...
Oh my.
The voice of the time machine.
Name's Steve.
You're in me, Reggie.
You're in me. Oh my.
Oh my. Yeah.
Jive. I was waiting for him to go, jive turkey. Like, I was just waiting for it.
Yeah.
It never happened. It actually really disappointed me.
A lot of other there was a lot of other weird jokes. Okay, so now they're back in time 3 days before Thanksgiving.
They say, bring us to the first Thanksgiving. You're 3 days before the first Thanksgiving. And you're like, I didn't ask you that, Steve.
Yeah. Steve. Yeah,
and then he's like, okay, I have to recharge now. Goodbye.
Wait, Steve. I was like, Steve's not here, man. And I was like thinking to myself,
Steve's
okay, a
not here,
Cheech
man.
and Chong joke right in the middle of this.
Yeah.
That was weird.
And then, good, some alone time. It's like, what are you going to do? Creepy.
That was really
So
creepy.
stupid.
So there's like a George Takei egg in the middle of the forest, invisible, mind you, just doing whatever it wants with itself. And the thought alone is just like,
Oh, Reggie, you're back early.
It kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit.
Oh, my.
Oh, my. There was a lot of that
I'm
going
sorry,
on.
Reggie.
I'm sorry, Reggie.
I'm afraid I can't do that. So anyway, so they're in the
We're
woods.
just going to do nothing but
and-
George Takei
yeah.
impressions for the rest of this because
Yeah, we're just
it's
gonna
much more entertaining.
Yeah. So they get in the woods and they get chased by these settlers. One of them is supposedly Miles Standish.
Yes.
And he's like
He's like a pilgrim
cowboy desperado pirate.
He looks okay. I guess he's kind of wearing like a pilgrim's outfit that is shaped like a cowboy, like a sheriff, and then he has like this pirate accent to his voice. Like, all right, I'm gonna get those turkeys.
And he's kind of British sounding.
Yeah.
And look, this is supposedly what he looks like William Shakespeare. And in the
right?
movie,
Yeah.
he looks kind of like the villain from Open Season.
Yeah,
the
and
Gary Sinise character.
Yeah, he's like a mix between Snively Whiplash and Waluigi.
It's a good comparison because he's like, I'm gonna get those turkeys.
And he has like a matchstick in
yeah,
constantly
he has
in
a
between his
matchstick,
lips.
and I'm like thinking, were match? I mean, I assume they probably were, but he has like a standard like strikeable matchstick in his mouth.
Yeah,
and I'm like, is he gonna light something with that matchstick? I assume he will, and I guess he does.
He did.
Which
yeah.
is, I guess that was the setup for that fucking joke. Was that we got to give him a matchstick in his mouth because at one point in the movie,
he rides like a sheriff's horse, and he also has like this stagecoach type of thing that he
with like cow skulls on the side.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was like, what time are we at right now? Are we are we at the settlers?
Yeah,
or,
and then also there's
or in the Wild West.
What happened was one of his lackeys was this Governor Radcliffe looking guy.
Yeah, I guess he was like the mayor of whatever town it was, like the Plymouth Rock. Or wait, where was the town that was?
It's Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth Rock?
It's the people who landed.
Yes, right.
Like the Mayflower.
But I was just wondering if like
Expedition.
the town was called something else or
No,
something.
but well.
It's basically them. They're like
the first settlement.
Yeah, the first settlers. They're just starving,
colonists.
and they're like, there's this like fat mayor guy
He looks kind of like
who I thought was voiced by Mark Hamill, and it even sounded like him, but it's not. It's
some
like
guy. I don't know.
I don't know who it. Robert Beltran. I don't know.
I don't know.
But or no, Dan Fogler.
Dan Fogler.
Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, but it was really weird. I mean, he was funny. A little bit. He kind of had some great expressions to him, but yeah, he constantly reminded me of Radcliffe from Pocahontas.
I mean, a lot of things remind you of Pocahontas.
Yeah, Avatar reminds me of Pocahontas, and this movie reminds me of Avatar. Kind of.
Yeah.
So it's like
there's a big tree that the turkeys live in.
Oh yes.
There's a big cliff in Pocahontas.
Yeah, we didn't explain that after they got chased by these pilgrims that they meet up with these
Native American turkeys.
Yes, Native American turkeys.
They're like Native Americans, but they're turkeys.
Yeah, it's like the big, main, like tough turkey guy who was the leader.
Yeah.
Who is all of a sudden now we have like this rivalry between him and Jake.
Yeah.
It's like now it's like I'm the leader. No, I'm the leader. And this turkey has like this faux Native American accent that they're trying really hard not to be offensive with.
Yeah.
And it's like you can kind of tell they're trying to make these turkeys Native American. So, and we don't see any other Native Americans throughout the entire movie.
You do.
Until the end.
Until the end of the
Until
movie.
the end. It's like they're mentioned.
Yeah.
But you don't see them at all.
Oh no,
until later
there's
on.
one moment later where they make a really awful joke, and I groaned. We both literally went like, ah, like it was so bad. But either way, we'll get to that point. But yeah, they're saved by these turkeys, and one of them, who's the chief turkey, I'm like, is that Keith David?
It was Keith David.
It was Keith David. And
and he has like a stump on his head that's like kind of like it's kind of shaped like ox horns.
Yeah.
In a way, it was
got a
very
leaf on
weird
it.
looking. And yeah, it's like every time he was talking, I kept on thinking, it's like the gargoyles. We were superstition and the sword ruled. It was an age of fear.
But it was weird. And then his daughter, played by Amy Poehler, named Jenny, which is not really a good Native American turkey name.
No,
you really think about it.
But I guess like I mean like when it comes to having any sort of Native American imagery or it has to be done really sensibly, you know, because like I've noticed this a lot with, you know, video games and stuff. It's like they have to take away all of the Native American stuff in it because they don't want to offend too much, and which is understandable. I would rather it be done sensibly than, you know, as a joke. And for in the sense of this movie, I don't know if it really was done as a joke, but it really wasn't tasteful, I guess, because it's like they're turkeys and they have like Native American like headdresses
but it's okay because they're turkeys.
Oh, and face paint as well. So, but yeah, it's okay because they're turkeys. Like as he said.
And it's funny. I was just about to say that Amy Poehler plays Jenny.
Yes,
she plays Joy in Inside Out a few years later, and
right.
she's great in that.
Yeah.
In this movie, she's so played down.
Yeah,
that she's just almost sounds like a generic everything person. She's not funny, and she has this really weird quip.
Oh God!
Where whenever she gets nervous, her eye, her pupil just
her left eye
just goes. And
it's just her left eye goes lazy or something, and just goes like downward.
Googly eyed.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my God, Mike, do you really do you understand? This is an Adam Sandler joke."
Yeah.
Because it is the weird quirk that a character has, and that is one of them. That is one. Yeah. And then
except I realized when I looked this up, I looked at the who it was who wrote the screenplay and produced it.
Yeah.
This guy Scott Mosier.
Yes.
Who I found out I was wrong. I said Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
What I meant to say is that he is Kevin Smith's right hand man.
Oh well.
It's a similar
thing. It's like, but it's still the Happy Madison sort of.
Well, no,
stuff,
it's View Askew.
View Askew.
They do like the Clerks movies and Mallrats.
Oh, okay. Like but still, it was like that joke there. Just
it felt like an Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Like, here's the character. Oh, his quip is that they.
We don't know how to write for this female character, so let's give her like a quirk.
Yeah, weird quirk.
And what we decided upon was that her eye goes out
limp, and then she's got to hold her nose as if she's gonna pop her ears, and then
she did that every time.
Like she did it about 5 times in the movie,
and it takes a while for it to like go back. It's like.
Yeah,
and it's so awkward.
Yeah,
it just halts the movie.
There's moments where you're like, you're looking at the screen and she sees something, then you just see that eye just go. And drop down, and you're just like, oh. And you make this face
because when that first happened, I was like, oh, God.
And then we both looked at each other like, oh, no. What happened?
This is what we're in for,
That's her personality, is her eye drooping.
Yeah.
And so they get introduced to this colony, and there's like the grandfather, deaf, kind of senile turkey.
Yeah, he's like the scraggly blind, I suppose, because he... just feels up Reggie and thinks that he's a
lady.
woman.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you're a beautiful wife, I guess. And
then it's weird because there's a lot of, like, I would say even tertiary turkey characters that... Turkey area. Oh. But there's ones that appear, like Calzo's Rocky plays what looks like a small Angry Bird character.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, a nervous turkey who, like, carves a flying pony with his beak. And then there's that weird, like, the I don't know if it's the nephew of the the old senile turkey who keeps making cat noises.
Yeah,
and it's like, who are these people?
Yeah, they made a mention. It's like, oh, why did you marry a chicken? And I was like, the fuck?
What the hell?
What the hell?
That doesn't explain why he's meowing like a cat.
It's like, is that supposed to explain it?
Yeah.
Crossbreeding?
Yeah. So they go into this colony and they realize that they are living in hiding under this big tree.
Yeah.
On this cliff to hide from these hunters.
They are safe from the hunters, basically, and I guess they. What is it they did afterwards? It's like they just did runs to, like, spring all the traps that the
hunters. Yeah, they're going out on missions the next day, and
it almost seemed like, why don't you just stay in the freaking tree for the rest of the movie and, like, don't really have to do anything. But I guess the whole concept was like they're trying to stop Thanksgiving from happening. Jake gets in the way. He decides that, I'm looking out for
the good of turkey kind,
like ways to, like, keep Thanksgiving from happening. So he looks out and he sees, like, the gun shack in the village, and he says, like, that's where their weapons are. If they don't have their weapons, they can't do anything with them. So we need to go in, infiltrate, explode all those guns and everything. And sure enough, while they're out there doing all this stuff, like springing traps,
Jake and this other rival turkey are, like, doing a dance.
Yeah, they're doing, like, a dance number. Like, they're doing, like, signs to each other, like, you. The do
joke
that.
just keeps
It just
going.
keeps going, and it keeps going and going and going, and then all of a sudden it turns into a dance, and now they're both dancing. We haven't explained. We haven't talked about the fact that how many butt jokes.
I was about to say
how many freaking turkey butt jokes
where,
there
like,
are
the butt is in the face and it, like, tenses up and you see, like, the glutes.
It made me so uncomfortable. Every one of those jokes made me so uncomfortable. It's like Jake has been, like, keeping the other turkey, like, so close, and he has, like, this face, like, it's like he's enjoying it. He's enjoying every moment of taking Reggie and just rubbing him against his body. And then he's, like, showing his ass to him. And then he's, like, flexing his ass. And then he's flexing
Imagine seeing that on a big screen.
Oh, my
in 3D.
God. If it was, like, on my TV, it's huge enough. But to see it on the big screen in the theater.
3D.
Oh, man.
Imagine with the butt coming out when he like, preps his glutes.
And it's like, look, I'm okay with a couple butt jokes, but it just kept going.
Like, even the fact that it was covered in feathers didn't really help. It wasn't a good...
It just accentuated it.
It's weird. There's no buffer, despite the fact that there's actually a physical thing between the butt and the outside world. That there's these feathers.
And the fact that they had to, like, display it, Yeah. It's like...
Someone had to rig the feathers on that butt so that when he flexed it, like, that was something that's like, okay, when he this is going to happen many times in the movie, so this is important. We're going to put some money into making sure that when that butt flexes, it just looks good on the screen. I want to see every detail in the curvature of that butt.
So what was your job on Freebirds? I rigged the butt flexing.
I rigged the butt. He comes home to his wife. What did you do today, honey? I rigged the butt. It's going to take 3 weeks to properly rig this butt.
But there were moments, like, I mean, later on in the movie, he's kind of subdued, but throughout the first... 40 minutes of the movie.
He's like a dumb jock.
Yeah, Jake is really uncomfortable. Like, I mean, like, it's not like even a dumb uncomfortable. It's like, well, I mean, I guess he is a dumb, uncomfortable character.
Like, unlikably dumb.
But yeah, it's like, we need to find some redeeming quality of this character. And I don't even know if there really is any redeeming quality to this character.
Well, at the end,
movie.
he's sort of like that dumb, like, lovable oaf. That's like, I gotta save them, or he feels really remorseful.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff like that. But then really,
And
and
I guess he's good with kids as well because
Yeah.
they show him with like a ton of like little
he
like
gets tickled, he gets tickled by babies.
tickled by babies.
Oh, there's a scene in the movie.
The turkey babies are basically just like balls.
Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Pretty much just little angry
just
birds.
little balls.
And also, we forgot to mention there's a scene where the rival turkey and him fight, and they get into this really big fight where their butts are flexing.
Oh my god!
And then they inflate their waddles.
Yeah, they
punch each other in the waddles, and then it acts like
they go
the
like
nuts.
oh they act
and they deflate. You just hear.
And I was looking at you and I was like, they're wearing their testicles on their necks.
I think
that was the joke, Mike.
I think I tweeted it. And I remember you yelling at me. You yelled, and I remember being like, "Oh my god!" I think that's Twitter worthy, which sounds really awful because that's something I never thought I'd ever say in my entire life. You screamed, "Mike! They are treating their neck waddles like nutsacks." And you screamed it out loud.
They have neck testicles.
and then
neck scrotes.
And later,
turkey waddles are basically dangling nutsacks.
And literally 5 minutes later, you said, "I don't want to see any more turkey asses, Mike." Because in the first third of this movie, there's a lot of flexing turkey ass.
Yeah, and
which is something I never thought I'd ever say.
And then they just have to one it up by the neck waddle thing, and I'm just I lost it. I really lost it.
You were like, "Oh my god!"
I was like, I can't see any more of this movie, Mike.
And we still sat through it and watched the
We
whole thing.
still had to see it, yeah.
So, I think we're getting. I don't know. I don't want to say that we're getting ahead of ourselves.
No, we're going off tangent here.
But there's not really much to talk about. There's awkward moments with Owen Wilson Bird.
Yeah.
There's weird kind of awkward romantic conversation.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's no longer about Reggie anymore. It's just about
Birds.
The Jake. Just...
Well, it's about the plan, but Reggie kind of takes a back seat for a while, even though he's supposed to be the center of the movie.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just like Rio, which is weird because they have a trailer for Rio 2 on the DVD when you play it. And it's like, it's a really awkward bird trying to get in touch with a very not assertive, but just a very, she knows what she's doing, other bird. And the only thing that was different about them was that they weren't shackled to each other.
Yeah.
Like in Rio.
Oh, yeah.
It just felt it reached the same kind of cadences.
Yeah, and they also kind of take, the fact that they came from the future pretty well.
Oh, you're from the future. Well, okay.
Hey, these guys are from the future. Ooh. And it's like...
Turkeys are dumb.
Yeah. Even Miles Standish kind of goes like, oh, God, it's magic.
It's magic turkeys, it is.
Magic turkeys, it is.
Oi. Oi, these turkeys are magic, isn't it?
I'm going to go sweep a chimney now. I'm Miles Standish. We also forgot that they're like these dogs.
There's these weird, they're kind of like barely dogs.
When they first came in, you were said like, oh my god, they're being chased by panthers.
They look like big panthers.
They look like...
They move very gracefully, like they're swimming. Like they look like their feet aren't even touching the ground.
Oh yeah. They're just like... gliding through the forest.
And they're very, I'm not saying that they were modeled bad. I'm just saying designs barely look like dogs.
Yeah, they looked they looked ratty.
Yeah, they look like big ratty dogs. And
big ratty dogs.
I was yawning. Yeah. Big ratty dogs. You can see them dogs, they're big and ratty.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and throughout this movie, they, at one point, while he's, Reggie is trying to woo the Amy Poehler turkey.
Amy Poehler bird.
He gets kidnapped kind of again by Jake and says, we got to stop this thing. So they're going to blow up these big gunpowder barrels.
They kind of do a plan aside from the whole flock of turkeys.
Because they're defensive. They'd rather just not fight.
Yeah, they don't want to fight. They just want to survive.
Yeah, and live their life.
And Jake is just kind of taking Reggie by force.
Yeah.
To basically make this plan of that we're gonna blow up the guns.
And Reggie wants to do it because he's like, if I make sure that your your tribe is safe, then you could come back to the future with me. So he's like, I'm going to make it so that her wish comes true, that the tribe will be safe.
Yeah.
So he goes through with the plan.
He's doing it selfishly, is basically. It's
Yeah.
like he wants the girl for himself to go.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they blow up these shacks, and in between that, I guess there's a weird moment where Jake sees a horn that Miles Standish is holding,
And then he has a weird flash forward to him being old. Tell us the story about the horn, Grandpa. Well, I don't want to open up that chestnut.
Yeah, that came out
Because he wants to prove to the rival turkey.
You had to explain that to me because I didn't get that at first.
He has to prove to the rival turkey that he did something noble.
Yeah.
So
So what it is it's this horn which holds gunpowder.
Yeah, it's the powder horn.
And then while they're doing it, they save like this weird turkey and the Mexican turkey.
They save the two weird tertiaries.
Tertiaries, yeah.
And the Carlos Rocky turkey and the weird...
large-eyebrowed...
large-eyed, like, woodpecker turkey. Because he, like, pecks he carves an image of a Pegasus into the wood of their cage for no reason. So and they're like kind of useless characters. So they end up blowing up these two kegs.
And they run off.
They run off and they tell, "Hey, look what we did. We did this great thing." But little do they know that Jake, the cap of the powder keg came off, and it let a trail of gunpowder
right to the tree.
And then of course using the one match that is like, is he gonna light that goddamn thing in his mouth?
Yeah.
He finally takes it and lights it, and he follows the trail and, just like an Avatar, just destroys the fucking tree that they live in.
Yeah, there's like a big moment where they like take in a bunch of turkeys, a bunch of other turkeys like try to escape.
And it's like, use the evacuation plan, and they just go to the surface and get a
Oh yeah, the evacuation plan was basically to go out the entrance. That was their escape plan.
Turkeys are dumb, Andrew. Turkeys are dumb.
Well, apparently they were smart back then. I don't know.
That's
what they're trying to say here.
So a bunch get captured. Their home gets destroyed.
Others go deeper in. Like the chief turkey, Keith David, basically says like, "Go into the watering hole. Come on, quick!" And they all go in. Then all of a sudden,
he sacrifices
Amy Poehler turkey says like, "No, the chickens, the little babies. We have to go back." And they're being chased by the dogs. And then Jake comes back because like,
because they like,
this
Jake,
whole moment,
it's your fault, and Jake gets really,
he like runs off or something,
and he ends up saving the chicks,
and they call him a coward or something.
Yeah.
But then he ends up saving the chicks, and they're just like hanging on to him by
nothing.
Yeah, so
and then they get chased by dogs, and then the chief sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
He holds up a flaming pile of wood. And he's getting attacked by dogs. And he gets crushed and burned and attacked by dogs all at the same time. And then later on they have a memorial. Mm-hmm. And it's like, he was crushed and lit on fire. Why would his headdress survive? It's made of wood.
Yeah.
And it's
they need to have some sort of symbol for him to be.
And they have a poignant little thing where they flap their wings, and there's feathers on the ground, that it makes a little whirlwind.
And they basically have these feathers go off like Pocahontas' Colors of the Wind.
Kind of thing. Yeah. And then there's a weird moment where you find out that they match seashells, and they find out that the girl, the Amy Poehler turkey, is the chief. And
I just realized hearing us talk about this movie is making me more exhausted than actually watching the movie.
Yeah, because we're trying to describe.
There is so much goddamn stuff going on in this movie.
It's bad.
It's like trying to explain like point to point what happens in this movie as a story. It's just like, what? Wait, stop. Go back for a minute. I missed a portion of this. So there's a chief turkey, and then he dies, and then they have like this memorial, and then the feathers go off, and then they have a moment where they have to pick the new chief, and there's a shell that they like pick together,
and they're magnets,
and they have to match it. Yeah, they're magnets, and apparently it's not the sun, the big chieftain thing or
The rival
dumb
turkey.
rival turkey, but it's the Amy Poehler turkey, and then Reggie's like all dejected because it's like, oh no, now she's never gonna go back with me.
So
blah,
he
blah.
leaves.
So he leaves. George Takei basically goes, oh my, let's go back to the future. Here is where the movie falls apart.
This is where I would say it was Deus. I mean, it's not Deus Ex Machina.
It almost is.
Well, no, because it's just like we have to resolve the story. Let's just do something that we can't explain. It's just imagine.
Let's just whiz time travel.
What's going on? Shut up! There's no time for that.
Yeah,
and it's just like you got to explain. No, there's no time. So yeah, you go.
Let's calm down a little bit and try to go over
breathe
this.
in.
So the Amy Poehler turkey basically says like we're going to fight for our freedom, and all the turkeys are going to fight the pilgrims. Meanwhile, Reggie goes back to the future, and all he does is like step out. That child is there. It's like, oh, the turkey. I'm going to go to sleep now. Poof, that's it. Then he goes up to the door, and another Reggie comes out and says like, I got to tell you what's going on. You have to go back there because you're an idiot. And he's holding like this doorknob because it's like it broke off the door. And that's the moment where I was like, see, I told you it was him all along. And then another Reggie comes in and goes like, just to accentuate the jokes, like, I'm also here to tell you that you have to go back and do this and la la la. You have to tell Jake that he, as a child, that he's destined to do this, and that you're the great turkey.
But that's why it's weird because, like, I guess it's predestined that he was supposed to tell Jake that he's the great turkey.
Yeah, but
what spawned?
What sparked the moment? There has to be that moment where it's like, wait a minute, I understand. I was or something, and But it's like it takes 3 freaking Reggies from the past or the future. I have no idea.
There's a scene where they're all like laughing together. I'm like, oh, there's 4 Owen Wilson's too many.
There is like throughout this time, there have been 4 times that Reggie has traveled to himself to tell himself that he is the great turkey that told young Jake that he really
is an idiot.
Yeah, they're all idiots.
But then at one point he's like,
God,
trying
to explain this movie is giving me an aneurysm.
This is the time knob. We have to we could use this. We could find it, and even like the George Takei is like, oh, for God's sake, you are the great turkey,
you dumbass,
you idiot. Now let's get inside of me and let's take care of this. You have no choice in the matter. Come inside me, Owen Wilson turkeys.
Oh, God. There was like a moment where he was holding that doorknob, and I was like, I went to you and I said like, Reggie, don't you understand? You're the knob.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's so they go back, and then you think he would go right back to where he was going to go.
No.
The battle starts. And they shoot flaming pumpkins at the colonial people.
Yeah.
And one of them gets a flaming pumpkin to the head.
And I'm like, okay, that guy's dead. He is dead.
Yeah.
It's like that flaming pumpkin like went right on his noggin. He is on fire. He is dead. But he's out of the question now. Yeah. So it's like it doesn't really matter. And there's no question. Okay, these pilgrims do not like flee in terror the fact that there are turkeys going after them
with flaming pumpkins,
with flames and pitchforks. It's like, okay, what should we do about these turkeys, sir? Get the cannons. So they
put the turkeys.
Put the turkeys. Did you see what I said? You get those blooming cannons right out here right now. I says.
Why'd you turn into Foghorn Leghorn?
I know. I'm trying to do like this, like Mary Poppins sort of,
like Chim Chimney Chiroo. I don't know, but so there's a point where they take the cannons and they shoot them at the turkeys, and right before they hit the turkeys,
they're like inches in front of them, but
they get stopped by the rip in the space time.
Apparently, that's a thing that it does.
Which it doesn't stop, like, say, it doesn't lift the cannons off the ground or heavier things off the ground first.
Or the people or the turkeys or everything else.
It's the cannonballs first. And then, Miles Standish gets launched into
Oh yeah, no, he grabs a cannon that gets lifted off of the ground. It's not him. He actually jumps onto the cannon and lights it, and he goes like, "Hey, oh wait!" No, and it's like,
and it points down, and he gets shot into the time, and he gets, I guess, blown up. And I'm like, so that's how Miles Standish died. he shot himself up like a rocket into a rip in the space-time continuum. God. And so,
well, I mean, like, look, let's be fair. In the beginning, George Takei actually said that
talking turkey.
This is not based on actual events,
except for the talking turkeys.
Except for the talking turkeys.
They're
well, it's
awesome.
like, doesn't that just make that go out the window though? Like that entire thing. It's just like, we're basically saying this is true.
It's just
this isn't true, but it's true.
Right at the start of the movie, just fucks with you. So
this entire movie just fucks with us.
He comes out. Reggie lands. Oh, there's even a moment where this is the moment I was going to say. You see the Native American chief on the hill, and he goes, "Oh, those are some really angry birds." Why did I sound like George Takei there? Because I like doing that voice. That's why.
It's some angry birds.
Angry bird. And we were like,
yeah, we were. Well, you were more angry about that than I was.
I was like, get it?
Yeah.
So
it was pretty bad. I mean, like, this was around the time that Angry Birds was a big thing, like or it was starting to become a big thing.
This movie's only like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah,
Can you believe
it's 2013. My God.
Oh my God.
I almost feel like it came out last year, but
I feel like it came out like 5 years ago.
Oh, geez.
It feels like it. So Reggie comes back with
pizza.
And he's like, get it? We're going to bring everybody together with pizza. And they're like, they try pizza and they love pizza.
They love pizza.
And then there's
the Native Americans love pizza. The Pilgrims love pizza. The turkeys love pizza.
Yeah, they all are eating pizza.
Yeah, they relieve the turkeys, and then it's just nothing but joke after joke.
And then there's the one scene that, to us, I think is probably explains the entire movie in one continuous shot. There's a kid who's laughing. Wait, let's.
Well, okay. Let's try to see if we can get through the sequence of events that occur in this entire scene. There's a lady that is dipping her pizza in a teacup, and then there's a fat kid in a t-shirt that doesn't look like he belongs there, and he's just laughing at this woman going, hey, and then the woman goes like, shut up, fatty, in that exact voice.
It's obviously a guy doing a woman's voice.
It's like, shut up, fatty.
Shut up, fatty. Oh, hey there, anchovy. And she's like, oh, Mrs. Whoa, and he drops his bucket of anchovies onto the Native American chief's pizza.
Yeah.
And Mr. Anchovy, you have dropped your dried salty fish on my pizza. It tastes like dirty socks, but it's better than my wife's cooking. Am I right? And then suddenly...
And then all of a sudden, there is a Native American that comes in, has a pizza wrapped around his junk, and he's like, hey, check this out, man!
And the chief is like, oh, no. And then he gets chased off screen by dogs. This all happens in the span of 15 seconds. And we were like, what did we just watch?
I'm thinking, like,
what happened?
This moment where he's like, he has, like, I'm just thinking, it's like, hey, you know what I think will be funny? If I wrap the pizza around my junk and I just showed it to the chief.
And another thing that I realized.
Oh, thanks, running with pizza.
They go back and they go back. He goes and brings pizza from the future after this Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
how are they going to make pizza?
I don't know. Maybe they'll import it in Italian or something.
They changed history.
Yeah.
So that instead of turkey on Thanksgiving, it's pizza.
It's pizza.
And then it's weird. Then they have like a weird kind of thing where they part ways and. Jake says, "I'm going to the future," and Reggie stays here with the tribe.
I have people to save.
Yeah, I go where the action.
Going to the future. Bye.
And then at one point, it doesn't right before it says the end.
Yeah,
he goes, "Oh my."
Yes,
and I'm like, of course he's got to say, "Oh my."
Yeah,
because that's what everyone knows George Takei for.
That's his catchphrase.
Oh my.
Oh
my. Sector 5.
Oh my.
Oh my.
I have a turkey in me.
I'm stuffed. So, and then there's a weird moment where you cut back and he's like, and then Jake comes back and it's like, Jake, you're back. You just left.
He
It's
held-
been years. Did you hear about the turducken?
Yeah, and he's holding like a duck and a chicken, and they both
It's a really
go like,
awkward
"Oh, God," quack.
cut
Yeah, just pause for effect.
to a cover of a Creedence Clearwater Revival song.
And
Come on the rising wind, we're going up around the bend.
come on, feel the noise.
And that was Freebirds.
It was
And I was
Freebirds.
like, you don't
What
understand.
did we just watch?
You don't understand. Like, if you go back and listen to the beginning of this podcast, and we just sound really exasperated.
Yeah.
You by hearing the last 10 minutes of us describing this movie, you will understand why we just how tired we felt. It was just a barrage of jokes that were mostly misses.
Yeah.
The writing was so.
I mean, there were some good jokes in there. I mean, like, I laughed like about 20% of the movie. And I think I'm giving that more a percentage than really
You really did.
really was, but
I think we laughed at the jokes that were really kind of dark. Like, that guy's getting a divorce.
yeah, we were
Shut up, fatty.
Yeah, okay. We were laughing at some really inappropriate things, but yeah. It's like, shut up, fatty.
Oh, hey there, Mr. Anchovy.
Hey, look at me.
I'm going to find a copy of this movie, just cut that scene, and I'm going to see if I can Instagram it. Hopefully it'll fit exactly to 15 seconds. I doubt it.
I don't think that fits 15
Oh,
seconds.
I'm going to post it just alone on Facebook. Can we post that scene on the Animated Anarchy page?
We could, yeah, we could. If I find a clip of it,
I'll find a clip of it.
Yeah, but if you do send it to me,
I'll go
post.
through the trouble of finding that scene again.
Yeah, because I don't want to touch this movie again.
Oh, you just threw the box away.
Yeah, I just tossed it, and it's a shame it missed the garbage can. Yeah, that was
Freebirds.
That's Freebirds, and I would call it a real turkey. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. All right. So, listen, you brought it up earlier today, so you're to blame for
That's
this
true.
as
I was
well.
like, as one of us going to say, this movie sure was a ... turkey.
Yeah. So, yeah, just this movie budgeted at $55 million
And made exactly its money back.
It made double its money back,
which means that it broke even,
Yeah.
barely.
Yeah. So
It didn't make a profit at all. But they went on and did Book of Life, which was a better movie? Definitely a better movie.
It is. I would say it's a better.
Well, think
movie.
of it this way.
Okay, that's a movie that we would have to really discuss and dissect because there's a lot of things that I'd like to say about it. But I wouldn't say that that's a bad movie.
Not everybody's. You have also, like, you think about this movie. This is their first feature film.
Was it their first feature film?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
This is Real Effects' first feature
And look,
film.
I'll be honest. The animation is really good. I mean, it's in the middle. I would say it's like on par as most other, CG animated movies.
I was offended by this movie.
Yeah, I was offended.
Like, this movie, like, the equivalent to this movie of that movie this year was, for me, was Home. Home just, it felt the same way as Home. Except I have to admit, I just realized
Home,
something.
actually.
Besides the song during the credits, there was no music.
Yeah, there weren't any musical numbers in this.
There wasn't any.
No montages or anything. It had like a musical score the entire time.
Wow. I mean, let's see. Now,
I guess that's a good thing about it.
Yeah, I guess we're trying to find a reason.
Yeah.
But, like, not every movie this was their studio's first film.
Yeah.
There's going to be better films for them on the horizon.
Yeah.
But, look at Sony.
This is a
first
start.
movie. Sony's first movie was Open Season.
Yeah.
And most people don't remember Open Season.
Yeah, which is a shame because I actually like that movie.
I actually like it too.
Ants.
Ants, yeah, that's true. And there was that one movie that Pixar did, the one with the toys. That one no one really remembers anymore.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, you mean a toy book? What is it?
Two Toys, I think.
Toys
it's called.
Life.
Toys Inc.
Toys.
Finding Toys.
Up.
Toysy.
Toysy.
The Toys.
Yeah, the toys. Oh God, the Robin Williams movie.
Ratatoysy.
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 Oh yeah.
But yeah, so like
I'm getting like punch drunk off of this because it's like.
All right, can we say Our favorite thing about this movie, to me, is just those moments where it's just like 15 seconds of joke and you have to stop and be like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, I was carpet bombed by about 12 jokes in the span of 10 seconds. Can we go back and just decipher what those were?
Yeah. I would
Especially
agree with
that end one. Just shut up, fatty. Oh, hey there. Oh, hey. Throw my pizza.
He keeps coming back to me like, hey, check it out. Oh, man. Oh, is it in bad taste if you'd want to, like, dress up as that guy?
And it's sad because this movie is like the only Thanksgiving animated film.
Yeah, well, yeah, it really is. And I don't...
There's $1 million for Christmas. There's like one for Hanukkah.
Someone out there thought, it's like, okay, what kind of holiday have we not made a movie about? Well, July 4th, nah.
Kwanzaa.
Cinco de Mayo, nah. How about Thanksgiving? There hasn't really been an animated feature about Thanksgiving yet. I was like, okay, let's do that. What's it about? Turkeys.
Oh my.
And let's have George Takei on this immediately. Oh, God, man. I'm like, I'm not even mad. I'm just like, this just really exhausted me. I feel so tired. It's been a really busy week. And we sat down. We were eating pizza, too. We basically had pizza today.
I did not even realize that pizza was going to play such a big fucking role.
It was a huge role in this movie. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, did this really change anyone's minds about turkeys? It's like, are they really going to
I want to eat more fucking turkeys.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to eat 5 turkeys. I don't really even like turkey that much, but I'm going to eat a ton of turkey. Because of this movie. Thank you so much, Real Effects.
They've done better. I mean, I like their Looney Tunes shorts.
Yeah, they've definitely done better.
The Chuck E. Cheese commercials.
This movie, man. Oh,
I can't say anything else about this movie.
I can't say anything either.
Friends, go watch this movie.
So
Share our pain.
I guess we should probably end this on a positive note. Mike, if you want to say anything that you're thankful for Thanksgiving, go right ahead.
I was thankful, and then I saw this movie, and there's not many things I could be thankful. No, I'm thankful that despite this movie, I mean, like I'm thankful that we started doing this podcast. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of fun to talk about good and bad movies.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I have friends and God, Freebird sucks.
I was going to put like some very poignant music while you were saying that, and then it just like immediate record scratch.
God, Freebird sucked.
Yeah. I'm probably going to like try to see if I can wash away this movie by watching a couple Thanksgiving specials, which, gosh, there really aren't a whole lot of those either.
The Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, which
honestly, I had that on VHS as a kid, and I watched
wore my tape out
dozens of times. And that's something we do have to talk about at some point, because it's like, it's very...
Next Thanksgiving.
Yes, next Thanksgiving.
That and the BC Thanksgiving special.
I think, the Country Critters, what is that?
The Country Critters, yeah.
That was like it's like a bear and a fox.
Yeah, it was like a 70s...
Yeah, with Ranger or something.
I can't recall.
I thought it was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, but it's not.
It's definitely not,
yeah.
no.
It's like Filmation, I think.
Filmation, or it could be like Nelvana.
Oh, yes,
it could
Nelvana.
Be Canadian.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. But yeah,
and
really,
Canadians know nothing of Thanksgiving.
It's weird, and that's another thing. This movie,
kidding,
of course, nobody could go see this movie because it's an American movie.
Yeah.
No wonder they didn't make any fucking money on it.
Yeah,
because the movie only caters to, like, what do they call this in another country? Oh, it's the day where these certain people eat turkey.
Yeah, there really is a certain understanding to it that you'd need. Oh, you know what? I have to be thankful that we're done talking about this.
I'm thankful too.
And I have to be honest, I'm really thankful for all of you listeners out there who would just stand to listen to us talk about these movies.
I'm not.
And not me. So yeah, thank you so much, and also show your thanks by going to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Animated Anarchy Cast, which is the best place where you can get a hold of us if you want to discuss any animated movies or the movies that we have talked about.
Or just correspond with us.
Yes, just like to give us messages and everything.
Ask questions.
Yeah, and it's just a great little page for all those fans of Animated Anarchy. And also, we are on iTunes and Stitcher, so if you would please give us favorable reviews.
Oh my. Give us positive reviews on iTunes. Oh my.
Yeah. So please give us a positive review. And yes, thank you so much for listening to us today. I'm on Twitter at AWDTwit.
And I'm at A Guy Who Draws.
And yeah, that's it for Free Birds. We hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving. And I am Andrew Dickman.
And I'm George Takei. Goodbye.
And I'm Owen Wilson, I guess.
He's not even sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm Mike.
Yes, and thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time. Did a guy get his what?
That dude, the fucking shitty girl was like, that guy's getting a divorce.
Oh, no, we don't see him ever again. I think we're supposed to assume that he killed himself or something, which is awful.
I mean, is she supposed to be like a sympathetic character or something?
I don't. He was such a Kevin. It was just a one-off character. I don't really think it was like a
Girl.
He co-wrote the screenplay.
Yeah, screenplay. Alrighty. Well, you got all your information. Do you want to just go ahead with it?
I guess we do.
All right.
Let me get the mic up close. Oh shit. Oh shit. Hold on. No.
Just yeah.
Hold on.
It's okay. You can
I just want to put it down on the floor without tangling on a cord. There we go.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Okay, how are my levels?
I think you're doing okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Just
Andrew, you do. I mean, I think you do understand.
no, I do understand.
But I don't. I don't understand.
I don't. Well, I don't. I understand that I don't understand, and I'm just looking right now at the budget and the box office, and I'm looking at that number, and I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, my God, how did this make $55 million?
No, it cost $55
No,
million.
I know it cost $55 million, but how did they get the money to make that? They
had backers.
Bunch
They had,
of sponsors.
Obviously,
Chuck E.
look at-
Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese was all over that fucking
okay.
movie.
We'll start with this. now,
Oh my God, you don't understand, Andrew. My balls hurt from watching this movie.
My neck scrote.
My neck scrotes.
All right.
Shut up, Fatty. Oh, hey, Gerald.
Oh, hey, Mrs. Bill!
Mr. Anchovy, you have soiled our pizza with your small dried fish. Tastes like dirty sock. Still better than my wife's cooking, am I right?
Hey, guys, check it out.
Dude, please.